Hello and welcome to Rügsæk Solo. I've been meant to live stream episode 5 of Rügsæk Solo, but I've, I don't know, what did I say? I've the meaning was I should have done a live stream, but unfortunately for me, I've had the worst um, toothache uh, ever. And yeah, I looked a bit like Sully from Monsters Inc. and an orc. And but they're sort of back to normal. I only have a little bit left of it. Makes me look more manly, I guess. But it was no fun at all, actually. I had I've been having toothache, tooth pain for since before the 10th of July. And it has been like, sorry, well, I can't do it. Just been worse and worse each day until last weekend. Well, this previous weekend was simply the climax. It was unbearable. But so I've been taking a lot of painkillers and um, what do you call it? Not antidotes, anti antibiotica, antibiotica, penicillin. Um, and on penicillin and painkillers and pain during very small intervals where it could work, I revamped Rügsæk. I added mostly the design actually, but I also added some uh, um, new rules, which I find quite exciting. And I actually plan to run through them with you. And then after that, I'm going to play Rügsæk Solo as I meant to be today, episode 5, but it's obviously not going as a stream, but then stream episode 6. So, yes, as you see here, I used the other frame where you can actually see a bit more. The old frame, going back to it, is, whoa, look at that. The frame is rather beautiful, but I've been really pissed about that. I wanted the two spread sometimes, and the old frame had some really weird measurements. So I'm going with this now, a square, a rectangle, lying down. Anyways, yeah. So what's new in Rügsæk? Let's have a look. Is there anything else I want to mention before I go on? Oh yeah, there might be actually. I've added for today's episode. Let's just run through that. I don't know if it comes up here. Oh yeah, I've added cards, as you can see from. Oh yeah, let's shuffle the pile again. And what else is new? I'm missing. Oh yeah, one of the I've added Realms Fables. Let me see if it shows up. It does. I've added Realms Fables, Volume 2, by Shield Dice Studios, and it's written by and designed by Jay Merritt. The reason why I add Realms Fables 2 is because I wanted also to show off that I could use cards, and it has some card generators for appearances on characters. Uh, That's what just one of many things it has. But I thought it has actually I really like version 2 here. It has some really funny details. Yeah, and we're going to use the cards to describe our uh, troubadour, our tattered troubadour, later when we start. But for now, I'm going to run through the new rules updates, and I'm quite satisfied with them actually. Oh yeah, if you see here over on the right side, I've added 4 new advanced characters, and they're like really advanced characters uh, um, compared to the simpleness of the game. So now there are 12 characters in all, and I also changed. Let me just run through the entire list of characters actually, because I changed some of the titles of them. The fighting man. Let's take them actually because there are some changes. Because I added, because I felt that the archetypes, the more advanced character classes I made, that they sort of grayed out a bit, and I don't, I didn't want them to gray out or become, like too generic. So I added some new things. I added advances and disadvantages to the game. And as you will also see, I also added advancement for characters. But let's check the fighting man out. He's still got the +1 to strength only. But the funny thing is that he can actually choose 3 weapons that he has or she has advantage with, including shields. So, wow. The fighting man is actually quite it's a really simple class. It's the most simple class of all. But I mean that thing that he has advantage on 3 weapon types, plus just the simple +1 to strength makes him really, really strong. You'll see that when uh, uh, coming to advancement. All the character types that has something with, even though it seems like a little, like not a big deal, the ones that have a bonus to their abilities actually have a quite a head start. So yeah, he's as simple as I want him. And then I changed the name of the next class. I changed the name of the holy woman to the vicar. Um, what I did here was mainly that I wrote in the rules that the vicar or the holy woman could cast her prayers with reversed effects. And there's another thing, if you can read it here, I changed her spellcasting. What do you call it? Her prayers are no longer prayers; they're blessings instead. So she casts blessings and curses. So I was just more particular about what the curses do. And then let's go on to the next character quick here. It's the thief, and I changed that to the nimble thief. He still has the +1 to agility. Now he has advantage on thievery and stealth. So yeah, top notch, really simple. And then we have the Crimson Wizard. The same old, same old. +1 to brains rolls, spell casting. Yeah, and he's sort of still the same. Nothing new under the sun there. So let's go on. It goes. Let me try and show the advantage system here. You can both have advantages uh, as you can class abilities, and you can also, like from time to time, the GM can choose to give you an advantage or a disadvantage during play. But let me explain. It's quite simple. Just find the dice. The dice roller. So let's see if we have. Let's take Curtis as an example and find his character sheet. How does that all look? Looks fine. Zoom in a bit. How does that look? Work with me. Isn't there sort of a fit to screen thing? Oh wow. Come on. Okay, there we go. So let's say, yeah, actually, let's add the stuff to Curtis. I can see that I forgot the +1 agility. Let's do that here. And then he has advantage on thievery and stealth. Because I haven't had the time, because of toothaches, I haven't had the time to. I wanted to expand the notes section down here, or the class modifier section down here, but I haven't had time to do that yet. And also something else you're going to see in a bit. But anyways, he's got advantages on thievery and stealth, and let's say he's going to do something uh, thievery, thievery, uh, something stealthy. He wants to sneak past the guard. And what was his agility? It was a D+1. So because he's got advantage, he can roll 2 dice, and let's say that it's. It's a sleepy guard, so let's give him. But it's late on his shift. He's usually a quite good guard, but let's throw the. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, disadvantage. Uh, can also. I mean, opponents can also have advantage and disadvantage. Anyways, so that's a 6. Okay, so I have 2 D12s, and I can take the highest number. I already beat it here, so but you can see. So a 7 and a 3. So I choose the 7, which means I sneak past him, the guard. So that's how it works. And let's say that uh, hmm, the same guard uh, and but there's rubble on the hallway. Let's say it's the difficulty is the same because of the guard. So it's a D8, but what am I saying here? Yeah, if he was in a situation where he could get, would get disadvantage, I could just up the difficulty die. But what I also could do, if I applied the rules, I could say that it's without his advantage. Never mind, I'll cut this out in the video. I think that was too long an explanation. Anyway, drink. Skills. So, okay, an example of disadvantage. It's the same, but I'll let me just show you. Let's say that Curtis is going to I don't know. He got a letter from someone. And Curtis never went to school, but he's not, you know, in any ways daft. So let's say he's in a hurry and has to read this message, this letter or something. So it's his brain's role. Let's see, what does he have? He has a D8. Okay. And the GM judges that, oh, when Curtis has to read this letter, it's not difficult, it's just moderate, so we have to throw the D8. Oh, I think Curtis is in luck. So, but he has a disadvantage on this roll, which means he throws his 2. Even though he had disadvantage, he completely managed. So yeah, there you go. You choose the lower of the 2. Quite simple. That was on advantage. Let's go on. Oh yeah. I'm not going through all the rules. I'm just picking up on the new ones. Yeah. So advancement. Let me just see if the page is up. It is. So over here on your right side, we have advancement, and you're getting advanced. You can advance now. You get advance points by bringing relics to safety. Each player character can carry a maximum of 2 relics in the Rügsæk side containers, one on each side. And when I bring up you can see that on each side of the Rügsæk containers, and therefore relics. And 1 relic equals 1 adventure point. Sorry, 1 advance point. Advance points can be player characters can trade 1 advance point for an ability bonus of +1 to any stat or 1 HP per advance point. Yeah, that's sort of double leverage, as we would say in Denmark, but I have to reformulate that, I guess. Anyways, a relic can also be sold for 1,000 coins. So a relic, let me just zoom in here. What is a relic? You can see. A relic is an item of great importance. They are often well guarded and well hidden. They're often part of a larger treasure, or sometimes the relic is the treasure itself. Treasures can even contain several relics. And as a GM, you shouldn't just let them lie about everywhere, but enough so that each party member gets at least 1 relic. And also think of, if you're GMing, that their characters could be awarded a relic if they find a bonus relic, if they've found something. Or the bonus relic was really hard to get, like for instance behind great danger, or hard to get, or easy to miss. So that's sort of the advancement. I haven't really set any specific number of the maximum. Sorry, my phone keeps giving me messages. I haven't really set any bar for, how much a bonus you can have in the game, because you can also during the game get minus to your modifiers. But I think I'm going for around a 5. That's also a lot. And then head maths gets really complicated, at least for me. So yeah, we want a light, rules light adventure game. We don't want GURPS. Although I played GURPS for many years, and I was for many years actually. I actually still kind of like GURPS. So not shaming GURPS here. but I just don't want all the maths. And since we don't play in a virtual tabletop, we don't have anything to calculate for us. So let's just keep it simple. Yeah, same O, same O. Anything new? Oh yeah, yeah. I don't want to go into detail with it. It's the Vickers. Oh shit, I didn't. Well, that's what happens when you change a role-playing game while you're sick and have toothache. I can see that I forgot to change the new name of the character class. At one point, I called the Vicar Man, so that's still there. So he is though just the Vicar, and he can cast blessings now and and curses. He can reverse the, the spell effects. Yeah, not going to read through them. We almost through the most of it, I guess. Is there anything new here? Oh yeah, now we're coming down to the new classes. Here are the old advanced ones, and they don't have any changes to them. I think. Oh yeah, the corroded knight does have a change. It gets advantage with a two-handed swords. And I think that also counts for bastard swords and Zweihanders and so forth. And a sword you can wield in two hands, so he gets advantage with that. And I didn't want to add anything to the Goblin Loot Snatcher because I was thinking that uh, he already has some powers, and I didn't want to complicate this class even further. I mean, he has Dark Vision and the Magical Loot Sack. The benefit from the Magical Loot Sack is really huge. What you can do here is actually, um, yeah, because of the loot sack, you can actually, if you're smart about it, you can actually make quite a versatile, like any sort of character with this when you have the loot sack. Because when you find, let's say, a magic item, you can have several magic items on you. And also, you don't have to worry about your strength, and that is also quite a bonus. So I was thinking that he is a bit like a thief, but he will. The Goblin Looter will, or the Loot Snatcher will eventually get uh, quite good. I mean, because of his loot sack. So, did I know the Curse Lordling is still the same? Am I missing anyone here? The Tattered Troubadour is the same. So, the new ones. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Well, yes. Hope you can see it. Let me just check how it looks on the screen. No, it's bad. Here. I think this is better. No, it's not. Let's see. Shit. How is this looking? This is okay. So the new classes. There's the truffle sniffer. He's sort of she is or he is or they are or whatever. Sort of a ranger class, you could say. They got a skill, not a skill. They got a special ability called hunting and foraging. And let's jump to adventure procedures here. Okay. Let me see, where did I put it? Where are the adventure procedures? Ew. Uh, yeah, you can see here on the left, I added as a procedure that when you during hex travel, you can hunt and search for edible what can you say, edible, like food, herbs and mushrooms and that sort of thing, berries. Yeah. So there's a difficulty. Small prey gives one ration, medium prey, large prey. It's a pretty high difficulty. Even up to difficulty dive D20 for large prey because it gives so much ration. And here is mushrooms. As you can see here, mushrooms for which just equals one ration is a D10. And this is if normal, if just the usual player would look for these kind of things. These are the standarded difficulty dice. And a D12 for finding, oh yeah, and we are under mushrooms now. Finding poisonous mushrooms, which does when they are applied to weapons like arrows or sharp blades and what have you. And it's also actually antidote, poison antidote. It will give a +2 damage bonus, and the mushroom would have 3 uses. And the difficult one here to find for the normal player character would be the healing mushroom, which gives +3 to healing. But the numbers of the numbers of the truffle sniffer are a bit different. They are one dice step lower for them. So it's a D8, D10, and D12 instead. So they're good at that. And then also they have a companion with them. They have the truffle pig. You have a truffle pig companion. The truffle pig can attack and defend. Give it a name. So it's a bit of a. I didn't give it big bonuses, but it has +1 to attack power and a +1 to armor value, and an ability die of D8 and hard points of 8. So yeah, and that's quite a bonus actually, because now both the player character who's controlling or who's playing the truffle sniffer is quite offensive in that way, because you can both do your own damage, and then you have another little damage dealer with you, truffle pig. So, and now it gets into the really advanced waters. So bear with me. Unfortunately, there wasn't room for the puka. And the puka, commonly known as pucks, can vary in looks and appearance. Some have butterfly wings, some dragonfly, and some, I should have said moth. I guess I deleted that. But you can have all sorts of wings. The natural size of a puck is about 2 inches. However, pucks can, in a magic blitz, take on the form called nymphach, which is Gaelic and means nymph. So they can transform into a nymph. So, and that's either not both, but either elf or human form. They can do both. So they're a bit of shapeshifters. When they change into human or elf form, their wings disappear and they can no longer fly. But some other physical traits might still remain, such as their ears or their skin or their magical sheen. And this class is very much inspired by Una from Legend. If you've ever watched that, you probably have if you are watching this channel. The best fantasy movie ever made, period. Anyways, so it's kind of a Tinkerbell, but it's a psychotic Tinkerbell, you can say. Yeah, okay, so she can take on this nymphach form, It's like in the movie, it's forbidden by the Elf King. Or maybe I should actually, yeah, elf. And we're not talking about elves here from Dungeons and Dragons. We're talking about elves, real elves. Um, yeah, it's not. It's forbidden for them. Did wonder about a funny mechanic for that. That if they got caught being transformed, they would be sent to a fairy, the Elf King's court. But yeah, I'm still thinking about that. Anyways, and while in puka form, the puka or the puck can flutter around. Uh, but when they are in puka form, all ability rolls are made with a D4. So there are quite some things here to hold on to. So yeah, let me carry on. Pucks can also shapeshift freely into any animal form, horse being the largest. And then they can also uh, increase or intensify their magic sheen and glow brighter than a torch. And that's not like twice as bright, but just flavor. But they glow like a light source. So here's the big deal with the this character class, because it's not done yet here. And it takes quite a player character to control or to play a puka. It's not for the weak-minded. So whenever shift is rolled on the d6 hazard die, there's a chance that the puka emotions run amok. The puka's player rolls a d6. On a 1 and 2 rolls on the happy heart table. Sorry, you roll again on the with a d4 on the happy heart table. On a 3 and 4, the puck controls their emotions. Nothing happens. On a 5 and 6, though, the player character should roll on the dark heart table. Oh yeah, and that this ability is called Wild Heart, also very much inspired from Una. Yeah, and they don't have much starting gear actually. Because my character sheet is looking like a Rügsæk. I mean, even though it's looking like Rügsæk, it's meant like abstract. It's an abstract thing. So pukas don't actually have any backpack. They still can carry the same amount of equipment as anybody else, but they can start with a bow and a quiver of 10 arrows, not 20. They can only carry 10 arrows. And a short sword. That's all they start with, and of course the clothes they're wearing. But here, let me run through the puka emotion table. Let me see if you can see this clearly. Oh yeah, on the happy heart, on a 1, it's frolic. The puck's faith shifts 1 step up, even up to a d20. On a 2, the puka gets an instant crush on a fellow adventurer. Roll or choose randomly. The puka blows a magical wind kiss that shifts faith 1 step up on the fellow adventurer, whom they blow a kiss, even up to a d20. I don't want to read them all. I'll let it hang here, but you can read it yourself, or you can go download the game. It should be up in the comments section. But I'll just read some of the dark heart emotion effects. If you roll a 3, you get mischievous. The puck does mischievous actions to all party members, ruin rations, blow out a torch, etc. It's up to the GM. And on 4, the puka gets sadistic. The puck pulls harmful pranks on fellow player characters. All party members lose 1 hard point. So yeah, there you go. There's a lot going on with the puka. Yeah, quite fond of that class actually. But I guess it takes there's a lot to you better have a version of um, the scene or the document next to you when you're playing these at more advanced classes. Anyways, let's carry on. My two here are my two new favorite advanced classes. The Mushroom Snail Mailman. Okay, this is a funny guy. Fun guy. Uh, so he has this ability called Better Late Than Never. And this is worked around because I'm thinking, actually, this is also an idea of mine that I want to put out a setting booklet that you can download. I actually don't think I want to include a setting into the rules, but let me see about that. But I have I'm beginning to get a lot of setting ideas. And a setting idea of mine is that it's mushroom people, or yeah, who sort of runs the postal service. So this, and it's sort of ridiculous because the mail is carried out on huge slugs or snails, and as we all know, they're quite slow. But so yeah, your 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 post or your messages get to you really late, but they compensated with that. The clever little mushroom men, and then they just um, what they did was actually just to uh, have an armada of snail mail postmen. So instead of finding better means of transportation, they just hired uh, an enormous, what do you call it, a throng of snail men to deliver mail. I find that quite funny. But anyways, yeah, I'm rambling. So, mushroom snail mailman, and because that's also because why are you a snail mailman? It's because really many mushroom uh, men or women they work as a postal worker. So it's the most, I mean, it's the most obvious job you can have. So in combat, you are always last and can only perform one action. However, your snail will assist you. It is, however, even slower than you and can, like you, only attack targets within the same zone. That's not quite true because let me wait with that explanation. So there's a snail male companion. As you can see, it doesn't have any attack power per se, but it's got quite a beefy armor value. And then the mushroom mailman can also send, if you want to deliver a quick message, uh, that can happen. The mushroom mailman can send messages via the mushrooms. Um, yeah, like through the ground. I don't know, is that the equivalent of messenger, mushroom messenger? Anyways, and then mailmen can also cast spore magic. There are only three known spore bells. I want to go read them for you. Yeah, he has all sorts of posts and stuff on him. But I want to jump to the spore magic section here because yeah, you can see the last one here. I don't know if you can see it, called Velox Hirundo, and that's Latin for a speedy snail. So, or slug. So if you cast, you feed your snail a spore treat, and it gets really fast. And what it does that he instead of the snail being the last in the round, he's now the first, even though what the hazard die says, the snail is fast under the duration of the effect of the spore. I haven't. That's a note to myself. I haven't said how long it lasts, but I'm thinking that it only lasts the fight or a specific situation if used outside combat. But Velox Hirundo makes the snail really fast, and it can attack twice, and that means that you can actually do other actions as well. But the snail under the effect ignores the unique action combat rule, which makes the snail quite funny in my mind. Yeah. Was there anything else? Yeah, you can see that the spells here are quite silly, but we've got Fungilus Flatilus and Fungilus Fragor. Basically, the Fungilus Flatilus is just an area of effect fart spell, and the Fungilus Fragor or Fragor is an exploding spore. But anyways, yeah. We're back to the last character class here. Let me see if you can see it. You can't actually. That's annoying. Need to zoom out a bit. Maybe I should take it back on one page view here. This better. Last one. It's called the Dragon Dancer. Yeah, and the Dragon Dancer. As the Dragon Dancer, you have been an attendee at the Academy of Dragon Dancers, an extravagant school renowned far and wide throughout the entire kingdom for educating the finest dragon slayers. So my idea with the Dragon Dancer is that you almost picture heavy with light, so it's sort of a ballet dancer. I mean, you don't picture in my head it's like a ballet dancer. You're not muscular, but you do have an enormous pole arm. So it's like your graceful dancing steps with this huge pole axe or pole arm. Yeah, so that's my idea of it. And also my idea of making it is that this sort of fighter is what you least expect. You don't see any huge bulking dragon dancers. It's either like ballet children or or yeah, slender. That's at least my idea. More like, did that show up now? No. That is strange message. So, what can you do as a dragon dancer? Yes, this is crazy. I quite like this class actually. You got a special ability called Decapitate. Is it a bit blurry? Ah, it looks blurry. How does it look on your screen? Okay, Decapitate. You get advantage with pole arms and lances. When you roll doubles on your advantage die, with your advantage die, you decapitate your opponent. Pooch. That's harsh. So the idea with this is that even though they're quite what you say, like aesthetically like beautiful and dancing, they're also quite brutal and that combination I quite like. Yes, and then they have the dancer ability, which give them +2 to armor value, and they also get while doing acrobatics, an acrobatic move like I don't know, swinging in a chandelier or walk on a tight rope. They don't get advantage, but they do get +2 to agility rolls. That's quite hefty, actually. Uh, Actually, I should change that. No, never mind. They got this. It's not really an ability. It's just something I wrote for flavor. It says armor. It is simply beyond you to wear any form of armor. So they do have a Rügsæk, a lance or a polearm, water skin and 1d6 rations, and so forth. And they start with a little more money than the other. So yeah, those are the new classes. So let's run through them again. It's the Truffle Sniffer, the Puka, or the Puck, and the Mushroom Snail Mailman, and the Dragon Dancer. La 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 la. So, is there anything I'm forgetting? Let me take this. Where did the... Oh, one sec. The, the bar disappeared? What? I can't... Yeah, let me just reset that. One sec. Um, there we go. It's back then. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else new. Yeah, I added, as you can see, some illustrations, and I'm meaning because I felt that my role-playing game, or Rügsæk, it needed more illustrations. So here are some. Yeah, under adventure procedures, it's just it's sort of the same, just with the new hunting and foraging tables. Yeah, and also small comment on the hunting and foraging. I didn't want to have like a page full of 120 different mushrooms. I wanted to keep it really simple, like mushroom ration, mushroom poison or antidote, and healing. I mean, I really love this kind of simple stuff. Yeah, Build a Beast, I guess, is the same. And then Rügsæk Solo over here to the right. Can you see this? It's also a thing I need to look into at one point. And then I again tried to make I'm just zooming a bit out again, the yes/no oracle more easy to understand. And I think I did the job now, because the yes/no oracle did give me some headache earlier on, but now it should be, it's quite easy to read. Going for a coffee, going for a coffee, going for a coffee. So I chose E instead. Oh yeah, disclaimers. Last time I fiddled around with Curtis's torches. Curtis is built on a goblin loot snatcher. He still has night vision. So yeah, to hell with the torches. Now that he's alone, he was meant to be the torchbearer of Marcy. Troubadour has no voice like Marcy. And one last thing that we need is the World Generator Volume 2, because it has some character appearance generator. And we're going to look how the Troubadour looks. Two things. what the troubadour, he's running for his backpack actually because and um, Curtis is watching him because in his backpack he has some his songbook with some sheet paper in it, and what it looks like he's doing is that he's want to write something down to um, Curtis, and on a small piece of paper, he has this paper off. He writes a name, uh, and he writes the following name: Petit Ketut. Apparently, that's his name, and I can say that I wrote Ketut on the Madeline Hale's table fables, the name generator. That's quite a funny name, and I thought that he would have a like a because he's a troubadour, he has some sort of artist name, and that was Petit Ketut. So I'm judging already that he's small of size. Maybe he's actually I'm imagining a young boy, but it's a he, um, or just a young man, but he's not very tall. So if I'm um, taking a card now that says he's tall, I'm going to um, ignore that. But let's see actually, how does Petit Ketut look like? It's really difficult to say his name, but it's also kind of funny for the troubadour name Petit Kut Ketut. Oh my god. Uh, yes. Let's have it open. Let's his how does his head look? His face or head. So exciting here. Um, so eight of hearts. He's got a pointy chin and blue eyes. After the video is done recording, I have to note this on the paper. But let's yeah. So actually, does that go into the pile again? I don't know. I'm going to put it into the pile and shuffle them again. So, and what's next actually? What does his arms and hands look like? It's very detailed here, right? You can tell. Um, oh, Ace of Hearts. Big veins on hand. Okay, that tells me that because I too have that sort of because I play guitar. So because of all his lute playing, he's got really thick um, veins. Interesting. And what does his torso or body look like? King of clubs. Oh, this is what he's sort of wearing. Or could be, I don't know if I have to roll two torso, just one. Let's just say one. It's what makes him stand out. But according to this table, he's wearing stag pelt robe. Oh my God. That's fancy. Um, okay. And now for his legs. Ace of Hearts again. That's funny. We are following a theme here. He's wearing cow leather pants. So yeah, animalistic. Some sort of animalistic to him. Petit Ketut. That's funny. Um, Shuffle them again and put the cards away for now. So yeah. What did we have up here? Like a pointy chin and blue eyes. Okay, good. Hearts. Let's get the dice up. Are there any doors? Or a door? 4 above. 3 above, sorry. Let's figure it out. 50-50 with 3 above. It's a yes. There is a door. So, do we hear anything behind the door? I guess that's a 50-50 again. I know last time I used this, it was a thievery thing, or he used this, I can't remember, but I want to make it with the probability die instead. Now I'm playing solo. That's another thing that's read as 2 below, right? So I have to check that out. Do I hear anything? Yes, we hear something. So let's quickly move our 2 heroes both, and of course draw a little door. What can they hear? And the door. So last time I think I did 1 descriptor and 2 story dice, right? So I'm picking randomly. I'm rolling. What do you know? What do you know? There's so many chances of me rolling something else. And you know what I got? I got the wooden leg again. That's crazy. And I also got this little weird icon. Let me see if I can show it to you. I also got last time. And I think actually I might have put that away when I rolled it last time because I can't figure out what it is. Sort of, it could mean a lot of things actually. It could be a button, but I'm also thinking now, looking at it, it could also look like an entrance to the ground. But this is, I rolled this on sound. So let's see. Yeah, just so you can see what I mean, that I wrote not the wooden leg per se, but the cane. So that's a wooden leg like last time. And I think there are, let me, how many dice are there? Oh my God. So 9 dice, 54 combinations, and I get the wooden leg again. What can you, I mean, this is so made to be. I see the signs. What? What do you know? 100. What is that? Wonderful. I asked for it, you know. I have an idea. I've been thinking behind the curtain, but okay, let me explain this to you. Because Curtis, or me, is beginning to get suspicious about the missing voices thing. And sort of the way the guard room was built and that other room, he gets the feeling that this is sort of he does some sort of get the feeling that this is a vault. And what do you keep in a vault? You keep something, I mean, safe, right? Huge safe. Um, and what Curtis um, is thinking, take the hat off for a while, it's been quite warm here, is that um, has somebody stolen Marcy's and Ketut's voices? And is that even possible? You know, the wooden leg, we found out that there was some sort of symbol of a spring well on it. And I'm beginning to think something here for Curtis is that it's just a theory that he's pondering about, like me. And I think what shocks them when they listen at the door is that it's one of their voices they hear. I mean, either one of Marcy's voices or could also be another a voice, but it sounds wonderful. But it could also be the troubadour's voice. I'm going to ask the oracle, is this the troubadour's voice? And I'm going to say it's a 50-50. Oh, exciting. So that's one above. At, at the chart. Okay, 50-50. One above. Yes, but. So it's, wow. It's simply, and I think it, because Curtis doesn't know the sound of Ketut's voice, but behind him, Ketut is getting like really pale-faced when he turns around and look at him, and Curtis is just one big question mark. And I think Ketut is pointing towards the door with a shaking hand, and then he points at his voice. But it was a yes with a but. What is the but? My first thought is that it's Ketut's voice but different, or it sounds wonderful with Ketut's voice and somebody is singing along and that sounds sort of horrible. I mean, can I roll something, a meaning or something on a table that would guide me or help me with this? Because this is, I feel like I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to roll an action and a subject on this table, actually. Uh, maybe even a descriptor. So I know it's 3 rolls, but what can you do? This is really weird. I'm going to do it. Action, descriptor, and subject. So 43. What is that? Expect 81 is scared, like scared. Expect scared. 19. Consequence. Okay, that tells me expect scared consequence. Now actually here in the room where I said I'm getting like shivers down the spine, or what do you call it? That's sort of scary. Uh, and it really fits the narrative right now. But what I think it is something. The but is something that is really. I think it's because Kitut is sort of scared about it. His reaction is a scared reaction. Of course, it's weird to he can hear his own voice in there. But I also think there's something ominous about it. And something that sort of maybe it's because if they can, I'm just getting ideas here. We don't know, but if they can steal voices, um, which would also be quite obvious if they stole Marcy's voice, and maybe Marcy had more secrets, and maybe the reason why this wizard stole Marcy's voice is because they want to keep these people and Marcy silent, because Marcy has a big role to play because she is a diplomat. Okay, I'm rambling. Blah, blah, okay, I'm really expecting something scary, but I think, I mean, I think the water is. Has it stopped raining, actually? No, we don't say, only if the weather change. We can't say. But I'm wondering whether the water is the same level. Is the water the same level? I have to ask that because, um, and I don't know which way the door opens, or if it opens inwards or outwards. It says still raining. I want to know that. That looks like definitely a yes, but is it just a yes? Two above. Hmm. Yes, but that's the easy one. Yes, it has dropped. The water level has dropped, but not so much. That's kind of easy. Um, so, okay. Which way does the door open inwards or outwards? Uh, Above the difficulty die, it's inwards. Not outwards. No, yes, inwards. Sorry. Above the difficulty die, I didn't say that. It opens inwards. Okay. So they can, I guess they can see that on the hinges on the door. So, I don't know. It's sort of a scary situation. Oh, let me just get the right tool for this. Oh, wrong layer. So, do they dare to go in? They're wary. Okay, I think Curtis looks at Ketut and sort of asks him with his body language, one, should we just like rush in and get your, if you can, get your voice back or see what's going on? What does Ketut say? Let's have a look at his character actually, because Ketut, I rolled some quirks. I forgot to show you his quirks. Or yeah, trade. I rolled a trade and a quirk, and this is quite funny. If this is scary and ominous, because Ketut's trait is superstitious, and his quirk is he has insomnia. He suffers from nightmares. Oh my God, this is horrible for him. I wonder if he even wants to go in there. I think he's really confronted with his nightmare, actually. Maybe his nightmare is that he loses his voice. You know, he's a troubadour. That's just the worst thing. I don't know. Yeah, the worst thing would probably to lose your voice for a troubadour. I mean, if you lose your hands, you can still sing, but you can't sing if you lose your voice. So I think he's confronted with his nightmare. Actually, that's what I interpret this. Okay, they they try and rush in. Maybe the door's locked and we can get in. Oh, the door be locked. The door's locked. I'm going to hammer on the table. I'm telling you. Oh my God! No, I rolled the wrong die. That's a re-roll because that was double trouble. Something went really wrong. If okay, that's three below. So I was asking, is the door locked? And I, of course, can't remember my table still. Three below on a 50-50. That's a no, but the door is not locked, but is trapped. Or something is blocking it. Okay. Uh, ability die wins. It's trapped if it's something blocking it. Is I mean, if the difficulty die wins, it's something blocking it. So I'm just rolling. Something is blocking the door. Okay. And when I do this, I also want to roll on the um, uh, gum table for expectations. Lovely table. The table that used when what the hell? Yes, I'm actually going to roll two tables. I'm also after the plan table. I'm going to roll the scene table as well. But I'm looking for plan check here. So I would say that this is almost exploding because Ketut is facing his worst nightmare. That's horrible torture. I mean, get your voice removed. Uh, uh, okay, exploding. So rolling a 20-sided die. Let's see if you can see the die. Let me quickly check. You can. That's an 11. Uh, yeah, okay. So it's because the plan check, the door is blocked, and it's sort of giving me this. You can I can open the door opens given under a certain circumstance, and there is a circumstance table as well. So I'm going to roll on the circumstance table. Rub, rub. 15. The circumstance is that I feel cold or shiver. It fits so well. I mean, my God, this is nightmarish. God, what is it in there? What is that horrible thing? We can feel a cold that gives us shivers. Is it a humongous iceberg? What is this? Oh my God. Okay. Let's. I guess it requires a strength check, and I'm going to say that it's just a strength thing. I think that Petit Kitut wants to get into the room, but I don't think he wants to. He's so yeah. I mean, he's frightened right now that he's not going to be able to help me, even though he wants to get into the room and get his voice back in a way. So it's going to be a strength roll from Curtis. Let me just find Curtis. Oh, Curtis isn't that weak. Weak armed. He's got a D10. This is not a thievery thing. No, it's just a plain old D10. Thought I could be fun to roll with advantage. So the circumstances, is the door blocked? What would that be? It's not an. Hmm, I don't know how heavy it is. No, it's an 8 maybe. It's just blocked. We don't know. I don't know. No, let's give him the same chances as I have. So then, okay. So a D10 versus a D10. So difficulty die first. Ooh, that's a tad high. No, no. I wonder what sort of sound it says when he tries to slam the door open. Do we have some sounds on any of our tables? We do actually have sounds in the uh, we do have in the dungeons book, but that's more like dungeon sounds. But we could roll on it because I really want to. Yeah, I'm going to roll two sounds actually because I want to get a sound of the eerie thing and the what is blocking the dungeon sounds. Dungeon sounds. Dungeon sounds. Why can't I find it? Noises 44. It's a D100 thing. Get the dice roller up. So this is the sound of the thing in the room. We know we know the sound. It's a petit ketut's voice. But is there another eeriness where we can hear more clearly now? 91. I rolled wheezing, and as I'm not English, I have to know what that is more specifically. Wheezing. Oh my God. So funny. I think I'm going to read the Google search up. Oh, this is so funny. Wheezing is the shrill whistle or coarse rattle you hear when your airway is partially blocked. It might be blocked because of an allergic reaction, a cold, bronchitis, or allergies. Wheezing is also symptoms of asthma, pneumonia, and heart failure or more. That's really, oh my God, this just keep adding up and getting even worse. This is horrible. And the sound, okay, the sounds here are, yeah, I might have to ignore these sounds because some of them are a bit not fitting for something that is blocking a door. But let's just roll and see. 94 in the high apartment today? Yes. I'm going to roll quickly on another table because we got whispers and that's not fitting here. Because it's the sound of something that blocks. And I think I got other better. I'm just going to use the gum generator and get the. I could also take two story dice out. I think two is enough. And roll. Interesting. Finally, some new dice. I got the following. But what's got? What the hell? So it's sort of two light sources. No, it's a moon. Oh, confusing. Ah, a moon. Wow, can't figure this out because it's mirror reversed. It's a moon and a light bulb. Let's follow the pattern we did earlier and then roll one more descriptor because this is just while my brain is thinking. 24. Oh, that's It's something that is developed in there. Hmm. I'm beginning to think something. What about, and I mean, those symbols, they can be interpreted quite, I mean, they are pretty open. What they're giving me right now, and if I should practice like being a more speedy solo role player, I should just go with the flow, as they say. And I'm going to say that based on those three, that okay, the light bulb symbolizes some sort of machinery or apparatus or device. Uh, and connecting that to the voice. So I know it's not really fitting for my setting, but I mean, if it is a wizard, an evil, but I'm not great. Let's forget those um, terms about evil and good and yeah. Anyways, it's a malicious wizard who steals voices. That because it's a wizard, I'm going to say that it's a strange magical device, and the moon can symbolize a great deal of things in this context with the voices. Actually, I think it's a half moon or quarter moon. The, I'll leave the moon thing open to once we're in there. Actually, I don't want to interpret on that. But we got what was it? Was it under? I can't remember the word now. What was it that we got? No, roll 19. What did I roll actually? Oh my God, what did I roll? 24. Oh, and that was developed. So maybe he's sitting. I'm not saying he sits in there, but somebody, and this is the room where the wizard does his. I know it's a vault, but I think it's a big vault, and I think that it has many um, locations in the vault. We saw that it was a room for maybe getting voices out, and maybe this is the room where he actually uses the voices if that's what he's doing. I don't we don't know. But maybe he's testing something out. I think he's like making experiments. Um, that's an idea I have. That we have to see when we open the door completely. Uh, so, but how the hell, sorry for cursing, do we get in there? Did the door get slightly open? Is it like a bit open? Huh. Let's also just quickly look at their character sheet. They have anything? We do have the wooden leg, but we still don't know because we wrote last time that there was some sort of power word attached, or we sort of I can't remember why, but we know there's a power word that because it's a we established that it was a faith item, but we have to know the power word. Um, water skin, lockpicking tools, arrows. Wonder if we can see anything from where we are standing. He has a Lut songbook. I'm going to say that he can't cast his song magic without his voice. So that's the problem. So we can't even use magic now. Ah, we are in a situation here. Okay. I have an idea. I'm going to, if there's a person in there, or if the wizard or what, I don't know, is in there, I'm going to lure him out. Simply. I'm going to put if the door is slightly open, I'm going to put the wooden leg in, like shake it a bit, like, hello! They interrupt whatever's going on in there and then pull the wooden leg back out of the door again. Let's try that. Yes, I need to ask if the door is open, slightly open. Is that a probably not, but I can check the. What should I say? Probably no. Probably a no. Okay, so I'm rolling a probability die, a d6 probability die, and a d10 difficulty die. Oh God. So when, and that's another thing I've established, or I've, what do you say, concreted here in the text on the probability oracle, that when you get to the probably a no and not a chance, you're sort of looking at the dice the other way around as you do in the rest of the table. So you're going to look at rolls above the probability die, and the difficulty die is 6 numbers larger. So that's a clear no. Huh. Oh, we're in that's a difficult one. How do we, what if I shout in there? What if Curtis screams in there and says, I mean, like, get out, come, uh, come out here and show yourself. We are we are not afraid to. We've got we have big weapons and we are many and sort of and and we know what you're doing with the voices and sort of trying to um, yeah, see what the reaction from the room is, and then they jump a bit back. And if the door is open, I have to roll on this new scene table. Does the door get open? Is that is this? Hmm, I think this was a faith roll actually, because not so much brains. I'm thinking this was a faith roll, more like desperate and with uh oh, a hope behind it. So I think it's faith roll. Okay, what does Curtis have in faith? Oh, he's got a solid D6. Isn't that just wonderful? I can answer that. So the difficulty die must just be moderate because we don't know what the 8. Looking promising? It's oh my god. Oh yeah, it's not. Oh shit. If that had been on the yes no oracle, that would have been really bad because that means double trouble. And let me just read that for you. On a double, there is a change of events, double trouble. Interpret the worst possible outcome. And we're not there because this was just a faith check. But what that does mean is that we're successful, but with a cost. Looks like the dice are disappearing. Let me just going on. But why are they? What's happening? Why are they deck? I just realized that they are. I think I can fix that. Okay, now they're completely transparent. Isn't that better? Let me have a look. That's definitely not better. What happened to the dice? Mm, mm. So the chroma key happened. What happened to the chroma key? I think it might be working now. Not perfect, but it's working. Okay, yeah, but what was worst? It works with the cost, so okay. Okay, so we step backwards after our plan. Actually, also I want to roll on the. That's actually a good occasion to roll on this table again, the gum plan table. And where did that go? Plan check. It's pretty tense, I would say. So a D20, an 8 means given. Yeah, we know that, but on a circumstance. D20 again. 13. Okay, this is weird. I just rolled the following circumstance. I don't know if you can. You can see it with me. You cannot. It says someone's jealous. Someone jealous. Oh, okay, this is turning out to be a really silly adventure. Maybe it's because that someone in there really likes my famous gnome voice. That's quite likely. Oh, that's funny. And he rushes out because he wants my voice. What is this we're facing? I'm really building up this time. This is really funny. Okay, we make a step backwards, and I think because it was a success with the past. I'm going to say that Ketut is so scared that he stumbles in the water. and gets one. He's loses one hard point. Not that he has that many. 7 hard points. Okay, what is it that comes out of the door? Let's figure out. First of all, it's a new scene, so I have to roll on the gum scene table. I'm thinking it's a. I'm not thinking anything. Let's see what the dice says. Where is the? Yes, here we have it. D20. That's a, it's getting more and more difficult to read. Why is it so too much shininess? I have to fix that. There must be something here. This one? Why is it so shiny? Oh, there might be too much light on it. I don't know. I can't. I must look into this later because I can't read. But it's a 4, I think. And oh no, oh no, no, no. That's. I think that's. Okay, I thought it was a conflict actually. It's a skill. It's something that requires a skill test, and it needs a fast reaction. Fast reaction test might lead to harm, difficult or stressful. Um, yes. Uh, okay. So it's something to do with agility, I guess, if you're going to be fast. And I do have +1 on agility. But what can that be? What happens? What is going on? What comes out the door? Let's take 2. Let's get some. Let's just get 1 story dice out and 1 descriptor, and then also an action and a subject. So because this is funny. Hmm. Something shoots out, and it's a shooting star. Let's see. That was 1 descriptor. Shooting star. Okay, 42 is a illegal. Okay. Okay, I'm getting ideas. Thing with illegal magic. So maybe a curse. But let's find the action and the subject words here to understand this theme. Oops, yeah, I need the shooting star. Hmm. Let's roll. God, it's taking some time at this door. The adventure at the door. Ah, 58. A lead. And subject? 90. Oh dear God. Territory. Okay, let me add it all up. Whoa, wow. So I think it's got something to do with the curse, something cursed, and we also know that it was a bit something spooky or um, um, you know, yeah. But it's something that comes out the door. But it's also, what did I say? Lead was the other word, and territory. Maybe it's something difficult one, but maybe it's is is actually this whatever it is coming out of its normal territory. Uh, but the lead thing and it's uh, I don't know. I can't. Let's see if it comes up in the scene. That um, sometimes you don't have to. Um, maybe it the meaning unfolds. So I'm thinking that this is the what Marcy called the evil wizard. It's not a wizard. It's actually um, what you could describe as a he casts curses, and you, like the Wicca class can do. My old holy woman, the Wicca class. So he can cast curses, but what? How does this actually look? Let's draw some cards. Okay, I can't remember if I shuffled. Um, already interesting. And what does that mean? Was Ace of Spades. Oh, by the way, can you see the cards? No, you cannot, because there you can see. Um, blah. So his head, Ace of Spades. He's wearing a wizard's hat. I mean, wow, perfect. And should we take two cards? No, that takes too long time. This is funny. Yeah, let's get the card back in the pile, shall we? I can also just flip them on top. That's easier. Oh, that's the entire. I could do that and then flip again. No, let's do it this way. Okay, nine of spades. We're having a spades theme, and this is his arms or hands. It says a hook for a hand, but I'm going to say that it's some we have a wooden leg and a hook. I don't want it to be piratey thing themed. I think it's got some sort of special uh, thing on his hand that looks like a hook, but it's got something to do with the voice, the machinery thing inside. We still actually don't know if it's a machine, but I'm just guessing it is. Okay. So okay, 10 of diamonds on the torso is. Oh, did I close the? Sorry, nee, I did not. 10 of diamonds. Ah, he's wearing ceremonial armor. I'm going to interpret that as his. That's what make him the cultist. He's like sort of looking like a cultist or um, and he's wearing maybe light armor. No, I don't know. And the last thing, is 9 of clubs, which is what? Sacking soiled slacks. We have another word for that in Danish. Okay, I get what it is. It's a hængerøv. He's totally fashionable, this wizard thing. Was that it? Are we done? Actually, the tool here says that I should roll for 2 arms. 2 details on the arms. I could try it and see what it's giving me. Shuffle. 4 of diamonds. Okay, if he's definitely not a wizard, but he's sort of a wizard. He's a witch's or a wizard's hat on, but he's also holding an ornate shield. He's got ceremonial armor. This guy sounds more and more like a sort of a cultist or a cleric. But he's okay. 2 things also. He's coming out in the corridor, and I'm thinking he's after my voice. I'm just something that I don't actually have a symbol for him, so I'm just going to use. He steals of my voice. Oh yeah. Also, I won't forget that I have to be fast about things. Have something, and I think he's casting a spell with this sort of scepter or scepter hand he has the moment he gets out, and I don't know what it is. It's a sort of instrument. I hope it's not the thing that can steal your voice. That would be very, very bad. Oh yeah, reaction table. I wanted to look for the reaction table because I've added a little reaction table, and I will not forget to use that this time. But if he's sort of, the evil, dark cleric kind of guy, I'm saying that I'm getting -1 to my roll, and I roll a d6. 4, so that's a 3. I'm actually getting that it's a neutral or uncertain reaction, but I don't think that's the case here actually, because he comes out and I have to we found out that I have to avoid something. So or maybe he's just frightened and he comes out and then let's see, and then shoots first, ask later, right? So let's see what he does. Okay. That is no, that's a free turn, so we get some actions on him. I think that one question that must be raised instantly is that does Ketut recognize this person? That's a 5th. No, that's a 5th. Oh my lord. That's 5 below, right? Wow, I've never seen that roll before. Come up. Can that be real? That's just a no. It does not recognize him because maybe it was the torturer or the interrogator who took his voice with that with something. But I think this is the man who keeps the voices, the vault of voices. Okay. Blah blah. So reactions. He does not recognize this man. Oh, by the way, should we check whether I know we're, um, I'm going to say probably a yes. I want to know if if his robes are turmeric yellow, if he's sort of connected to the Brotherhood of the Dead Eye. And that's a probability die of that's a D10 versus a D6. Okay. That's 4 above. So that's a yes. Da 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 da. And I bet the symbol is a dead eye. I don't know how it can be a dead eye. Maybe sleepy eye or an eyeball that's been pierced with a spear or something. I don't know. It's a dead eye anyway. Maybe it's a crossed eye, like you know in comics when you're dead. I don't know. Um, okay, so it's a turmeric-colored crazy cultist. Okay, and we get a free action. So I okay. One thing is the I want to know before we do something. I know it's time to wrap this up soon, but we're going to carry on with this fight or whatever we're going to have. But the question is the voice coming from the room still, or is it from the what's the source of this of Ketut's voice? Is it coming from the room? Okay, that's a 2 below. That's a no, but uh, okay. No, yeah, oh, sorry, it's not. I'm getting tired. Maybe this wasn't. It was just. Wasn't a check. Like it was just a check to see more plainly 50-50. But if we interpret the role we just made and say, then it's from the. But it's no. But it's coming from the man. So the man is he. So the man is a man. Is he a man? I think he's a man. But voice coming from the apparatus in his hand or blah, blah. I'm going to say not a chance, but that's I don't know. It's maybe more weird that it's coming from him. So I'm asking, does the voice come from his mouth? That's okay. Most definitely not. So that's about 10 above. That's a no and exactly. No, and no, and it's not coming from. Oh my God, all these no, and I simply can't interpret that right now. Oh, that's funny. But okay, it's not coming from his mouth. Then it must be the either his shield or his apparatus in his hand, the hook. we can't decide now. Let's carry on. Okie dokie. So I think that actually I think that put mm, he must make a faith roll to even participate in this fight. So it's a D10 plus one, and that's really difficult for him. Goes with this opponent. I think it's a D10 opponent, and I also think that it's his worst nightmare. I'm going to say that the whole situation is worst nightmare. Is that even a D20? Like extremely hard? I'm going to say that it is. Okay. We all know that that is not possible to beat, so but let's roll anyway. Just yes. He does not dare to. He's scared. God, Curtis has to do things alone again. So that was his free turn. I'm going to let him um, each round. I'm going to see if he dares to pull himself together and wants to join the fight. Okay, but it's Curtis on his free turn. So, yes. What does Curtis do again? I can't remember. Curtis has a one-handed sword and a bow and arrows. Okay. He is, yeah, using it was his one-handed sword. So D10. And I think the man, I don't know, sort of looks like a D10, right? Curtis. Okay. So, did he have any? No, he didn't have. So, what did he? Oh yeah, because of the weapon. Um, so that's 8, and he has armor of what? Whoops. Fuck off. I can't remember the I can't remember what he wrote. Sorry, let's roll again. This is silly. Okay, whatever. D10 versus a D10. He misses. Okay. So it's normal turn now, and let's see if uh, he can pull himself together and join the fight. Ooh, maybe. Yes, yes. Um, Kitut pulls himself together and raises himself up from the water he was lying in. And what does he do? He has a sling, and he's going to use his sling. What is his numbers? He's got Agi of D10. Okay. Plus one. Because of the background sling. Okay. And D10 plus one. And I think he has a light leather armor, that guy. So that's three difference of three. So he hits or hurts him for 3 damage. So let's get a note, notebook up here. So I'm going to say that he's DD10. So his hard points is 10, and he just lost 3. Oops, down to 7. Doki, I don't know. No, you cannot see this. So it's uh, oh yeah, didn't I forget to roll? I forgot to roll. Let me do it again and see if it. Let's. Or is a shift. Fight moves. We're just moving backwards into more water. I can't really say if it does. I don't think it does anything. Okay. So that was and it's us attacking. That was Ketut's turn. So now it's Curtis. So a D10. Oh yeah, the fight moves, so we should also move the fight a bit here, right? Stop. What did I say? Yeah, I need to roll for. Oops, you can't see it. Wait. Okay. So, I'm rolling D10 plus. Oh, wrong. Oh my, that's a miss. Okay, now it's uh the clerics. Let's just call now the vicar's turn. Let's just call him that for now. So, and who is he hitting? I think, yeah, I think as we see that Kurt, not Curtis, I think that Ketut, Petit Ketut is using his sling from this corner-ish. And Curtis is fighting here. Oh yeah, no, sorry, in the middle. So it's actually, oh yeah, like that. Okay. So let's see, he rolls. What does he cast a spell? What does he do? Does he do? I'm going to roll just a 6-sided die and say 1, 2, 3. He attacks with his weapon, that thing in his hand, and if it's a 4, 5, 6, he casts. He attacks with the weapon in his hand. So it's a D10, and Curtis has a D10, and did he has his armor value of 1. So okay, Curtis rolls first. 4. Oh, that's a difference of 2. So yeah, 6 and 4. So he loses 2 hard points. Oh dear. Ouchie, ouchie. Oops. Okay. So, new round. Excited? 3. What is that again? I think it's an expiration. A torch depletes A spell is forgotten. Requires brain test. A magic effect expires prematurely. Let me just interpret that as the singing, or not singing, but the voice of the of Etut stops. Yes. Okay. And it's either Curtis or Ketut's turn. So Ketut uses his sling. D10 plus. Oh, sorry, it was defense dice first. Oh yes, 3 difference. So another hit of 3. Bonk, right in the head. So it's down to 4 hit hard points. Keep calling it hit points, but it's hard points. And now it's Curtis's turn. Bad. Yay! Isn't that an 8? Must be. Oh, it was an 8. And he rolled a 7, right? That's 1 point of damage. Uh, what does he do? Does he flee? Because, I mean, he's not stupid. He's just not going to. Does he call for guards or something? Oh, shit, I don't know. I wonder, this, is he saying anything? Yeah, actually, I completely forgot I rolled that his reaction was neutral. But I think the other guys, Curtis and Ketut, attacked because, or wanted to attack because, I mean, there's a guy who has this business that has a huge torturer that steals voices. And yeah, and they killed Marcy and they killed, oh my God, what was his name? Emir. God. Yes, of course he's evil. He needs to die. Obvious. Anyways. So, but what does he do? Does he cast a spell? 1, 2, 3, melee, 4, 5. No, wait a minute. Does he have something that can heal him? I think he's just more clever than just fighting till he's dying. I mean, let's check it out. This video has gone on quite longer than I expected, so yeah. Vicar spells. Okay. Yes, he can actually do all sorts of things. Oh my God. He can raise skeletons, he can. But as a vicar, he can only cast 2 spells though, so he's got an arsenal of power. He got like 16 spells, weapons in total. Crazy. Uh, does he cure his own wounds? I guess he does. I guess he does. Okay. He's trying to cure his wound. If he does that. So he actually has 2 actions because he's curing his own. Everybody has 2 actions. I keep forgetting that. No, sorry about that. But that again. The one action is just to cast a spell, and since it's not harmful, he can both cast the healing spell and attack. I must write some sort of combat order thing down for myself. Anyway, I'm getting tired. Well, okay, let's see if he cast the spell. It's a D10, and I'm guessing, let's just say he has +1 in faith. So he's using his ability there because, okay, very weird. Situation is quite difficult. In combat. Difficulty die for him is the sorry. It's a D10. So. Yes, he cast the spell. And he throws a D6 plus his faith. That's 6 hit points. God damn it. He's back up on 9. And I think that after he attacks here, I think I have to stop for today. It's becoming quite a long one, this one. So he has an attack left. Who is he? Curtis. He's attacking Curtis. So Curtis needs to roll a defense roll. Oh la la. He misses. Okay, and this. What a high note to land on. That was really funny, actually. Yeah, I hope to stream somewhere around midweek, like Wednesday. Yeah. So, but we have to stop it here for today. It's getting really late and everything. Good night.